to sort of discuss about what I wanted to discuss. Um, it's going to be very short. I'm not expecting a lot of persons to join us today because every everybody has programmed their mind that it has to be on Sunday. You get so sometimes the Sundays become so very difficult, but like yesterday was, and what are we talking about today? Well, first, um, I hate politics and I hate politicians. Personal reservations. I hate politics and I hate politicians. I don't like any of them. I always say it. Even my friends that are politicians, I always tell them, I don't like you because you people lie a lot. All right? I'm not saying politics is bad, but I just don't like Nigeria politicians. They lie a lot. I try not to get involved in anything that has to do with politics and politicians and all of that because even when you tell people a very glaring truth about some certain issues, the first thing that comes to their mind is that you probably have been paid by another person, even when it is a glaring truth. They are so myopic not to understand that there has to be a time, no matter who your paymasters are, you have to understand that this is a common truth and you must respect that. I always say that when politics meets up with the history of Edo land, that is only when I'm going to speak to the authority. Otherwise, it doesn't concern Edo state government until they are trying to forcefully take ancestral lands that belongs to the most sacred quarter in the entire Benin Kingdom. And I felt concerned. I felt not just only concerned. I felt at the temerity of such. I don't know how to quantify when you are very like when some certain people do some certain things, just like a quick banana, it's disgusting. It's very annoying when a state government comes out to say that they want to sack, pursue, or pay off people from their ancestral land. When statistically, government owns over or about 50% of the entire land mass in Edo State. I'm giving you a verifiable statistics. As Edo is, if you buy land 10 different places, there is a possibility that 5 of those lands that you are buying in 10 different places now government land. That is how huge. All right. I think statistically, even the government land in Edo Sat, Benin speaking part of Edo State, is more than 55 to 60% of the entire land mass. Now, the state government has issued letters to people in Ogbe/Ezoti to vacate their ancestral lands. To me, it is a call for concern for every true patriotic Edo citizenry to understand that it is not just the abomination that is about to be committed, but the temerity at which this abomination is to be committed. Because for some of you, you might not understand what Ogbe is to Benin Kingdom. And I will explain what Ogbe is to Benin Kingdom, to the Benin people. Now, a government now comes saying that they want to use part of Ogbe soil for whatever reason, with the reason that is overriding public interest. Overriding public interest. And they are served, I'm not giving you rumors, they have served papers to different homes, different family members as I speak, to vacate their ancestral home for the stupid reason of public overriding public interest, for the stupid reason of development. Don't forget, over 80% of the entire land in Edo South is undeveloped. Undeveloped, or 75%. Well, a larger percent, let me not give statistics that I'm not aware, a larger percent of our land is undeveloped, is forest, is bushes. More than 70%. Can the government use any of these numerous land masses that we have to develop whatever ideas that they want to develop? Instead, they are going to private homes, historical sites, with an idea that they are going to demolish those houses to build a museum or to build, I don't know. How can you destroy history with a bid to create another history? It doesn't make sense. And I want people to open their minds. If anybody comes and say that Mavis is engaged in politics and all of that, I don't fucking give a damn about any of them. None of them pays my bills. Everybody knows, quite a lot of person knows how I make my money. I don't depend on the government to make my money. I'm from the private sector. I don't like any of them. You understand? But now when the government wants to destroy the history, people still don't understand. Maybe people still don't understand. I'm trying to paint it in a way that we can understand how I currently feel about the matter. Do you know what Ogbe is to Benin history? Ogbe is a sacred home of every Edo sons and daughters. No matter whatever part of Benin you are, you will always say, Ya Sogbe. So, Ogbe, to the Benin person, is not just like a place, it's a home. It's the home for everybody. Ya Sogbe. If you are in Ogbe, you still will say Ya Sogbe. It therefore means that Ogbe is not just a physical place to the Benin people. It's like their spiritual. It has transcended beyond the physical realm. It is not like a spiritual home, but a physical and spiritual home to the Edo people. It is the place of their abode. It is a place they believe that they are closer to their God, which the God King, which is the Oba of me. You understand? So the concept is this: Ogbe is a sacred ground for every Edo sons and daughters. It is only people who are very myopic and very stupid that will come up with an idea in the concept of overriding public interest to take away, in the name of bringing an heritage, a modern heritage, to wipe out the old heritage. The entire Ogbe soil has history beyond 1,000 years. The entire Ogbe has a history beyond 1,000 years. All I believe the government is supposed to be investing quite a lot of money instead of trying to fight to get artifact that the government will never get. Amolok Boninem. And I understand that because some people did not get the artifact, in a way to spite the Benin history, in a way to spite the Oba of Benin, they are coming up with a contest of forcefully taking some parts of his territory. It is about spiting the palace, nothing else. And I will prove it in few minutes. Over the years, the palace have carefully assembled families, his friends, his allies, and carefully kept them over 10 centuries to be his brothers and sisters, to be his neighbors, to be his eye. Over the years, over centuries of history, different families from different villages have been assembled from all over the stretch of the empire to be within the palace territory, which we now call the Ogbe ground. So everybody that has a house in Ogbe are Oba's family members or his allies. And foreigners have not been able to infiltrate Ogbe because foreigner does not have properties at Ogbe. All right? Foreigners do not have properties in Ogbe. Now you want to destroy the properties of Ali Omoto and now bring foreigners into the Ogbe soil. Who do you think that move is fighting? It's an insecurity issue. We trust only the Edo people to be Ogbe because they are the neighbors of the Oba of Benin. They are the only people that can protect. It's only your brothers and sisters that can protect your interests. It's only your children that can protect your interests. So you want to take a portion of Ogbe who are always ancestrally very loyal to the Oba of Benin and bring foreigners into the Ogbe soil. And bring foreigners into the Ogbe soil in order for it's a very good example. A lot of persons with all of the issues going on between Russia and Ukraine, a lot of persons are NATO, a lot of persons support Russia because of security threats. Russia doesn't want Ukraine to join NATO because of security threats. Just like I feel it's also security threat to the Oba of Benin. If you remove his people around him and begin to now establish foreign ideas into his immediate environment, that is insecurity. Tomorrow, maybe you're going to bring a lot of Fulani to now work there in whatever company you want to set in the name of you bring a development. No one is against development. All right. I've been able to establish that over 50% or 55% of the entire land bands in Edo South is government reserve. So government has abundance of reserve. Why constrict a place? In the first place, they were the first people who accused the Oba of Benin, citing an irrelevant myopic idea that there is no land in Ogbe for the Oba of Benin to site the museum, the proposed museum. And now they now do 360 degrees to now want to now claim a part of the Ogbe to build whatever they want to build. I heard, I'm not certain. I heard the museum. I don't know where it's going to get artifact that is going to put into that museum. The the Igbesama, the Iguneo, every of our guilds are exclusively controlled by the Oba of Benin. So the government never created any of those guilds. The artifact that was stolen, no one is going to get any artifact without the express permission of the Oba of Benin. That's fact number one. Number two, no one can commission any of these existing guilds to bring out acts without the express permission of the Oba of Benin. People should understand, because these guilds were never created by government policies. They were created by the ideas of the Obas of the old. So I'm trying to roll my head around a lot of these things, and I'm trying to understand the rationale behind someone wants to destroy, wants to sack landlords who have been there. Igiogbe wants to take. Don't forget, the Obaseki have more than 10 houses. Oh, no. As long as you pay them off, oh, no problem. We should start with Obaseki family has about 10 houses at Ogbe, for your information. There should also, he should start from his family house. His family house is one of the biggest house in Ogbe. I'm sure that people like you, Osas Ferdinand, all in the name of development. I'm sure that cities in London is still an old city. Nobody goes to what are you talking? Gregory, you said don't be libelous. I don't understand you. No. I'm trying to get you. Obviously, you're an Obaseki, but the point is, what is don't be libelous? No, prove how I've been able to speak in that regard. Because I understand that you people are going to turn the whole concept into politics, because that's the only thing you people ever know. The Ogbe and Ezoti people, there are 10 houses. In case you don't know, the Obaseki, people have more than 10 houses at the Ogbe. Why not start with your houses? Why must you want to go to? Nobody has to make me a spokesman, Mr. Fosa. It's okay. I am a Benin man. If I don't speak on this matter, then who else speaks on this matter? Why must I be selective to speak on Benin matter? Why must it only when it is convenient for you? Why must it be only when it is convenient for you must I speak on this matter? This matter concerns me as a Benin man. And people has already protested. That means the people are not happy about it. I shouldn't be happy about it as a Benin man either. That our history is being desecrated in the name of, okay, I'm coming to the guy who said that, Osas Ferdinand, I'm coming to you now, saying that all in the name of development. Let nobody bring politics into this matter, all right? Get this very clearly. London is an ancient city. No London government went to bring down all of those old buildings, this cultural heritage sites in the name of development. You build around your cultural heritage. You don't pull them down. It's a common sense. It's a common sense. Like I said, there are so many places, there are so many lands, there are so many government reserves that the government owns in Edo State. Why are they not thinking of building such, constructing houses, constructing whatever ideas that they have in all of these places? Why must you bring an history down in a bid to create another history? All right? And some people think that this is all about politics. I don't give a damn about politics. You must understand what Ogbe means to the Edo people. You know, some of you are not well informed about it. It is the soul of the history of the Edo man. It is the very soul of the history of Edo man. It is the home of the royal house. And no one is against development. I remember when I think during the era of Adams Oshomole also, when they were about to expand Airport Road, and the then Oba Omoyediawa had said that if the palace wall will be an hindrance to the expansion of Airport Road, that he should bring it down. But Oshomole understood the palace wall is a cultural heritage site. It's a cultural heritage site that must be preserved. You don't bring down your cultural heritage site. All right? All right? You don't bring down your cultural heritage site. Benin is an ancient city. When you have ancient cities like Benin, it's just like London. You don't get beautiful, amazing houses in London. You get old, ancient houses in London. What you do, you build new cities. You live because the old city is your cultural heritage site. You maintain it. You improve on it. You don't bring them down. You bring these things down. How do you create another history? And I don't understand how our people think. In the name of development, I'm sure a lot of people would think that, I'm sure, I remember a very useless lady some time ago once said, I quote that, waiting the palace of the Oba Benin they do there. Why they not your destroy? I mean, they build, probably they build airport there. I'm sure a lot of you people think that's how myopic it is. All right, the point is, you call a spade a spade. The other guy said, I'm speaking libelous. You've served quit notice. You served quit notice to people at Ogbe, and your family have more than 10 houses. In case you don't know, that Obaseki guy, in case you don't know, your family have more than 10 houses at Ogbe. The ancestral home of our Obaseki, which is probably one of the largest compounds at Ogbe, is still there. Nobody served the paper to our Obaseki's house to quit. Then you think that is your Igiogbe. You want to maintain it. You want to maintain that culture because you think you're the governor. Now, every other person that also has a house, their own Igiogbe, you think they should vacate because of development. Why not start destroying your own house so that people can really take you serious? Start destroying your Igiogbe before going to other people's Igiogbe to say you want to destroy them. Knowing fully well in the same Ogbe cycle, you have a lot of houses. And people are not seeing all of these things as important because they believe, I'm sure that some of them will say, they are paid this other one. That's how they think. They don't think beyond, it has to be paid. Come on, I've been speaking on Benin matter for the past 6 years. I don't get to talk about anybody. I don't get to talk about Obaseki. I don't get to talk about any government. I don't talk about anybody. Go and check my profile. All right? I don't talk about any of them. Whatever they do doesn't concern me. But I've always said, when they overstep their boundary into trying to not distort our history, trying to not destroy our cultural heritage site, I speak. All right? Trying to not destroy our cultural heritage site, I speak. Trying to steal our artifact, I speak. That is the only time I speak. So let's not get all of this mixed up. You call a spade a spade. Whatever that is being done, he does not have any right whatsoever to say he wants to destroy houses at Ogbe. Why should he do that? Why? At Ogbe of all places? Ogbe of all places? Sacred site like Ogbe to construct what? If I heard archaeological excavation, that, okay, it's some of the buildings I want to do archaeological excavations to unearth some hidden earthed history. All right? to unearth some hidden history on the Ogbe soil that has so much history. Beautiful. The only thing that can go on that Ogbe soil has to be archaeological excavation to dig out history, to make historical findings of histories of thousands and hundred years ago. Not to destroy buildings. And go and eventually go, after destroying the buildings, and go outside Edo State and say that Edo State is the heartbeat of the nation. It's the cultural soul of Nigeria or Africa. The same culture, the same heritage that you want to destroy is the same heritage you go all over the world and say that you are a cultural ambassador. These are some of the things you should look. You don't destroy history to create another history. It is totally wrong. It is totally wrong. So let's call a spade, and you people to stop blindly defending people. Stop blindly defending a government that does not transcend beyond 8 years. Doesn't transcend beyond 8 years, and you want to destroy the cultural heritage that has stood for more than 2,000 years because you want to prove a point, or because you feel that that's the only thing that can bring development to Edo State. That is not how you develop a state. That is not how you develop a state. You don't bring down history to create history. That is not how you develop a state. Look at everybody. A lot of people stays in Italy. A lot of people stays in London. They don't bring down buildings. These are old cities. Old cities, you build development around it. You don't build development in it because it's your cultural heritage site. You're supposed to preserve it. You're not supposed to bring it down. But in the case of the man who said he knows everything, he wants to destroy an history to create whatever history. And in 50 years and 100 years, and people begin to ask, why is this place called Ancient City? It looks very modern. Create new cities, not bring down the ancient city. So it's not about, it doesn't concern me whether anybody voted for anybody. That is not why I'm here. That one is not my headache. I don't get concerned about that. I'm just saying that on the area of this decision, whatever decisions, I've always spoken against him on 2 occasions. First, the artifact, okay, on 3 occasions. First, during when he was the governor for the first time, I vehemently spoke against him going to the palace without wearing Benin attires, going for a festival, going for a cultural event, wearing suits. Then I heard it changed and all of that. That was the first time I ever spoke against him. The second time I ever spoke against him is the artifact. That shows that I love my culture. I just want people to be able to portray the Benin culture because he should be the first ambassador of the Benin culture. So he should portray it. I don't think I'll be able to go on a visitation to see any kings and I'll be wearing this kind of t-shirt. I don't think I'll be able to go and see my Oba tomorrow and wear this kind of t-shirt. I don't think I'll go to, because this is not my cultural heritage. All right. And the second time I spoke against him was when he was about to grab our artifact. I spoke vehemently against him. And the third time I'm speaking against him is why does he want to grab Ogbe exotic properties? Why? Why doesn't have to? So please, those who are very close to him, advise him that Ogbe Exoti, it's a sacred ground. Come on, go to other places. After all, they said that Ogbe is too small. Where are they going to build the museum? Yes, Ogbe is very small. You can't build the museum there. If anybody can have a right to create a sort of a land, that is the Oba of Benin, because it's his territory. I'm sure that the Oba of Benin will determine. I'm not saying, according to the land users I'm not saying the government does not have right over this land, but at least let the government respect the tradition of the land. Let him respect the cultural heritage side. Because the government has right over the land, does that mean that the government should go and destroy Oba's palace? It just doesn't make sense. So please and please, no allow. How many years in can get safe? No allow. No say. No one is saying that it shouldn't bring development, but we are saying that no allow. All those are cultural heritage sites. They mean so much. They mean so much to us. All those cultural heritage sites, they mean so much to us. And we are hoping, we are begging, we are praying that he leaves all this cultural heritage site while still championing his developmental ideology. No one is kicking against it. All right. And all of that. So that is all I have to say. That is all I have to say. I don't think, Blessing or Joe Gallic, that you have the right to determine if those houses cannot be renovated and protected. Who said those areas cannot be renovated? Have you been to the place that has been marked? All right. Who said those areas cannot be? Have you been to these areas? Do you know the area in question? That's the first question I want to ask you. Do you know the area in question? I know the area in question. I don't think you know the area in question. I know the area in question. Who said those houses are falling? Anyway, I've said what I have to say. I'm not saying everybody has to agree with my opinion, but I strongly believe that I'm on the side of the truth, because Ogbe is a sacred home. You just cannot carry bulldozer and start bulldozing Ogbe. What would you gain from that? All right. So, and all of that. Anyway, I'm done with that. The second topic I want to speak about, not a topic though. I want to appreciate all of you for all the text message. Oh, okay. I thought you were referring, Mr. Madam Blessing of you. I thought you were referring to. So, I want to thank all of you for all your birthday wishes. It was amazing. I felt like a celebrity. It was amazing. So, it was really amazing. So, I felt like a celebrity, and I was really astonished by all your birthday wishes. It meant a lot to me. It meant a lot to me. All right, you should come and carry bulldozer and destroy Ogbe. because it's a dumpy site. You understand? Some people just cannot think beyond the 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 sentiment of their probably a small brain. Because you think Ogbe is a dumping site, go and destroy Ogbe. Alright? Go and destroy Ogbe. So I want to thank all of you who poured a lot of birthday wishes. You guys are most amazing. I felt like a celebrity. My pictures everywhere. So I wanted to do that yesterday, but I couldn't come online, so that's why I needed to do that. So I thank all of you, those who personally called me and wished me birthday wishes. You guys are amazing. Those who called me, those who even sent money for me to Popori and all. I didn't celebrate it, just in case you guys want to know. But those of you who were asking after cake, I didn't buy cake either. So I was just there. I went to walk, and walk was good. I went to walk, and I closed late. So it wasn't anything that very big and very, very special, but I really appreciate the social media. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are really, really wonderful. And thank all of you. I appreciate all your messages. So lastly, I also want to thank our brothers and sisters who called, who especially reached out to me. You know, remember I threatened that will not buy land from me, make will not buy land from me, will not buy land from me, if you call me, I know pick the call. So a lot of people really took that thing serious, and you guys are most amazing. A lot of you called to buy properties. Some paid instantly. Yeah, last week was really, really good. Market was really, really good. Courtesy of all of you, and I appreciate. I don't want to mention it, but trust me, you guys are most wonderful. So, but don't forget, keep keep on supporting me, keep on patronizing me. I sell lands in case you want to buy from me in Benin or in Abuja. So I sell genuine properties. So keep on supporting me. You guys are most amazing for the support. So so thank all of you. So birthday wishes, those who bought properties from me, you guys are amazing. Keep buying from me.